Hunter Biden's appearance in criminal court this Wednesday has already been complicated by explosive claims from two IRS whistleblowers. But now there is seemingly another potential glitch for the first son and the prosecutor. Lawyers at the Heritage Foundation are set to file an amicus brief in Wilmington, Delaware, challenging the plea deal Biden is getting. While this investigation of Hunter Biden has been ongoing, the conservative legal group has been fighting to obtain thousands of pages of Justice Department records related to this investigation. They have filed Freedom of Information Act requests to no avail. They want the FOIA requested disclosures before Hunter Biden's expected plea on Wednesday. Our next guest is the lead counsel. State Chair of the Delaware Republican Party, Julianne Murray, joins me. Good evening. And just so that I understand, you intend to file it. I realize you're working on last-minute details. Are you asking for essentially a TRO to stop the judge from taking Hunter Biden's plea on Wednesday? Is that what you're asking for?
No. And so in terms of how you laid it out, there's two different actions going on. There was one in the District of Columbia, which was the Heritage Foundation seeking the FOIA records. And that they were actually going for that preliminary injunction, and it was denied. The amicus brief is actually just basically saying to the court, we want you to delay the plea. There's a whole lot going on that the court should be aware of before they accept this plea. So the thousands of pages, what we know from the FOIA case that was filed, different attorneys, in the District of Columbia, U.S. District Court, District of Columbia, DOJ actually disclosed that there's about 2,500 pages of communications that, could be considered responsive, and it's taking them a very, very long time to go through them, to the point of your first guest where you were saying, how come, you don't have this information? They are absolutely stonewalling the Heritage Foundation, and they are stonewalling Congress because they don't want to get this information out, and frankly, probably don't want it out before the plea. Go ahead.
All right, I've tried a lot of cases, done a lot of pleas in my history. That I suspect, unless something less lightning strikes in your favor, is that the federal court judge will say, is this the plea offer that the United States is making to the defendant, meaning Hunter Biden? And that the prosecutor will say, yes, this is our plea offer. Then the consideration is whether or not the defendant, Hunter Biden, understands the plea offer, that he's accepting it, and he's doing it of his own free will and for no other reason. And I don't see how you're able to sort of get in there and stop that, because it really is a matter between the United States and Hunter Biden. And I don't know how you're able to sort of join in on this. Even though you may not like it, maybe not be fair, maybe you're not getting all your information, all of that stuff. I don't know how you have the authority to get in there.
Well, and I mean, I actually had a similar, I've been on the criminal defense side of it, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm a criminal defense attorney too. I've never been on the prosecution side.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So on an amicus brief, it's a friend of the court. You know as well as I do that basically we are asking for leave from the, to file this brief. You file the motion, you file the brief. Absolutely has the discretion, to say that they're not going to take it or they're not going to consider it. But, that can't stop us from filing it. There is no prohibition from us filing it.
No prohibition from filing it. And it is true, on occasion, judges have refused to take pleas for a while, but it is very unusual. That is indeed true. Judges have refused to accept the plea that's before them. I would just be surprised. Now, these documents, I'm immensely curious about these documents, and even all the documents that Congress is asking about, I'm immensely curious. I've read everything about this. I've read all the allegations about Hunter Biden. I've read all about the big guy. I've got all the. There's only one party, unfortunately, that can clear this up, and that would be President Biden himself, providing the documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI. But they are slow walking it, and as a result, they're adding fuel to the fire, and making people, maybe unduly suspicious. If there's nothing wrong, just lay it out.
Totally agree. And so, so basically the argument, and I explained to everybody that I've spoken with, that the judge may not consider it, but we are putting it out there to, to basically say, in the administration of justice, in the interests of, the public interest, Judge, it seems to us you would want to have all the information that you possibly could to see if it's an appropriate plea. Was Weiss truly independent? He's contradicted himself. Was Merrick Garland, misleading us when he said that he had the authority? There's contradictions there. The IRS whistleblowers have blown this, have added so much to this. So it's really just, as I said to somebody this morning.
You know what I think is peculiar? I'll tell you what I think is peculiar. An investigation like this, 2 misdemeanors and a broken down felony to diversion. First of all, that's unusual. I tried cases, we never got a felony broken down to diversion. You get a misdemeanor broken down to diversion. That's the first odd thing. But an investigation for such a simple case like this doesn't take 5 years so that you run it past the statute of limitations. That just doesn't happen. That's what I find peculiar, which is something different from what everybody else is saying.
I actually agree with you. And I also have not seen a federal firearm charge, go to diversion, felony. So, I agree with you completely. I mean, this whole thing has a stench about it that everybody, would agree. But, it is, we're at that kind of critical tipping point right now with the plea being scheduled for Wednesday. So it's basically, it's not so much don't take the plea, it's delay it, or, please at least consider that there's other information out there. Whether they take it or not, again, we had to try.
If I were Hunter Biden's lawyer, I'd say take it, run, and as Hunter Biden's lawyer has done a pretty good job, it looks like, from the outside. Julianne Murray, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.